Alright, let's understand how to use a dictionary in object-oriented programming. So I'm going to create a new file, and this time I'm going to say, again, it's going to be a menu-driven program, but it's going to be using a dictionary concept in OOP, that's object-oriented programming, but it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to say if it's one, of course it's going to be create a student, that's enter a student. Okay, number two, it's going to be search by roll number. Okay, so one of the methods we already told you how to do that. Well, let's do it in the dictionary method this time. And of course, this is going to be display male members, right? Of course, rest, let me just make this off and just put this 4 out here. Of course, the first initial part of it is going to be same, which means I can just open that file and copy it out, certain things out there. So that was a student underscore menu. The first few things are going to be same, that is from students import student. But the second one, okay, this time I'm not creating a list, but I'm going to say students. It's going to be, I'm going to create a dictionary. Okay, so I'm going to create a dictionary, and after creating a dictionary, I'm going to say something like this. I'm going to say, I'm going to say either, let's say, def create a new student, and that's of course going to be the same as this, which means I can just copy this entire thing out, except I need to change a little bit over here in the last part of it. Okay, I can't have students dot append out here because now students is a dictionary. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, let's say students, that's a dictionary, right? Dictionary underscore, or I can just say students dot dictionary, and I'm gonna say roll number. So roll number is gonna be equal to whatever student has been added. So does this work in dictionaries? Yes, if you remember, a dictionary is a mutable data type. You can create dictionaries on the fly, on the go. So that means you can create which means it's going to create a new entry. That means students of roll number. If it is there already, this roll number is there, it will just modify that. If it is not there, it is going to create a new roll number, and with that it is going to append this particular student. Okay, the student details are going to be added as a value of that particular roll number. Okay, now what I need to do is def, I'm going to say search by roll number, and if I say search by roll number, and if I say roll, and all I have to do is if roll in what? In the dictionary, that is students, return, what do I need to return? I need to return the value of that particular role. Hope you understand that. Is that clear? Of course, it's gonna be not roll number, but it's gonna be role, because I've used role out there. Okay, def of males. Okay, if I say def get males, which means, okay, I'm gonna do that. So what do I need to return? I need to return what? I need to return a which contains all the students, okay, whose gender is male. So I can return a list. Okay, we had, we'll understand this concept a little later, but you can return for every student for every s in student dot items. If you understand this, for every variable or for every student in student dot items, which means in student dot items, if my s of what? S of I can just say it is dot gender, right? So let me say return student. So for every s, okay, the s is nothing but one of the students. It's basically a student object in student.items. Okay, can I just say s of 1 is going to give me the gender, so s of 1, and I can say dot gender is equal to m, right? And I'm going to return that. Okay, so I'm going to return that. I can just say s of 1. Okay, I return that out, and then of course I need to display it. Okay, whenever I want to display a list of students, student underscore list, I'm going to say for s in student underscore list, right? It's gonna be s dot display details, which I have already written there, right? So student list is, and now I can just have my while loop, which is going to be while true. I can just say print. What should I print? Of course I need to print all of the conditions out there. I'm going to say 1 is going to be enter the student data. Second, I'm going to say 2, I'm going to say search by roll number, and then I'm going to say print 3, I'm going to say display males, and print 4 is going to be exit, right? So it's going to be something like this, of course, and then we're going to have input the choice, right? Choice, input the choice. It's bad. Input the choice, and of course this I need to take it into an integer and put it into C variable, that's choice, and I need to check if C is equal to 1. What should I do? I should create a new student. Okay, search underscore roll is equal to int, okay, where I am inputting enter the roll number to be searched. So basically he's going to enter, the user is going to enter which roll number he wants to search, right? And then I'm taking it into a variable that is search underscore roll, and then I'm going to say I'm going to search by roll number. So that's going to be search by roll number, that's the function, right? I'm going to pass this with this particular parameter, search underscore roll. What is going to return to me? It's returning to me the students, right? So what I can do is I can just display the details, that is s dot, okay, elif c equal to 3. I can say something like this, that is males is equal to get underscore males, and it's gonna be get the males out there and display the males, which is gonna call that function and display it out, else you break out. Is that cool? Function F5. Let's say this is stud dict. Okay, this is the dictionary version of it. Okay, so I want to enter student data. Let's say ABC, roll number is 1, gender is male, marks is 25, choice again 1, and let's do 2 males. All right, so DEF 2 male 28, enter. And I want to do a search by roll number. I'm gonna just pass through and search by roll number, which means I need to say choice is 2, enter the roll number to be searched. Okay, if I pass my roll number as 2, it gives me, yeah, it gives me the right thing. But if I say once again, if I say 12, it says none type object has no attribute display details, which means because this particular object we had to put it in something, there was an error because there was no such object out there created. Okay, so we need to do that. We'll understand if such an error occurs, what should you do, because I don't want this error to be displayed, right? That's because nothing was there. You know, this error can be handled. Such an error which occurs and it needs to be handled is called as, we use some exception handling procedures, because this is bound to happen. You know that such an object is not there, and so when such an object is not there, when it's asked s.display details, of course there is no such object. We need to handle this particular exception. Okay, with this we are quite done with this particular question, and we're gonna go forward and understand a few other things about OOP, object oriented programming. All right, thank you.